Welcome to the Healthy Habit Hot Seat, where we chat to extraordinary humans and world-leading health experts to dive deep into the intricacies of the daily habits that have shaped their success. Remember, success leaves clues, right? I'm your host and resident healthy habit coach, Loz Antonenko, and I cannot wait to help you re-energize your life so you too can create opportunity, vitality, and abundance to become the master of your own incredible healthy destiny. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Today, I am joined again by Kyle Zagrodzky. With a futuristic thought process and a solution-based attitude, there is absolutely nothing he cannot biohack to bring to life. In this interview, I discover his habits, routines, and strategy for creating success, happiness, and abundance. So Kyle, welcome back.
Yes,
in the previous episode, no worries, mate. Pleasure to have you back here on the Healthy Habit Hot Seat. In the previous episode, we spoke about some of the challenges you've overcome on your personal quest to wellness, as well as your successes in life and in business. You're a very well-traveled lad and have created the opportunity to sample an array of foods around the world. Now, you consider yourself to follow like a ketogenic carnivore diet.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew you only had 24 hours left to live, what would your day's menu look like?
Thai food, Indian food, and pizza.
And in that order, what would you have for breakfast?
I wouldn't care which order. I love all three of those foods. Those are mine.
Once.
Yeah. No, not all at once. I don't think they're complementary. I love all those foods. I'm a foodie. I love food. I know people that are ketogenic all the time. They're very, very militant, very dedicated. I respect that. I'm not that. I'm usually very dedicated 5 or 6 days a week. And then I'm somewhat dedicated on the seventh day. I don't just go out and just eat crap. But if my kids want to go out and get a hamburger and I'll eat some French fries, or, they're having pizza, I'll grab a slice of pizza and I'll just kind of like let my brain relax. But
I can relate to that completely.
Yep.
So from here on in, we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty details of your daily habits. In our previous episode, you spoke about some of your healthiest habits. You couldn't really put it into one single habit, and we sort of discussed what it is that you do on a daily basis. I'm sure our audience would love to know, do you, Kyle, have any bad habits?
What's bad? I mean, am I being judged?
This is all up to you. What context you want to give that?
No, not really. It depends. Some people say, coffee's bad for you. Well, there's days it shows it's good for you. No, I don't really have any bad habits. I mean, I guess my wife thinks if I'm sitting there on a business call sometimes and there's a lot of people on, I'll sometimes play a video game on my phone. But I'm still taking notes. I'm just waiting for the content to get relevant. Like I got that, or I'll sometimes look at an email when somebody's talking, especially if they can't see my face. That's probably not as present as I should be in certain meetings, but it's not that often. I don't have any unhealthy habits. I get great sleep. I take care of myself. I'm present with people, and I just don't do the unhealthy. If it's unhealthy, then why are you freaking doing it? Right?
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Speaking about sleep, how many hours a night do you get? And do you have a bedtime ritual? And if you do, what does that look like?
I've got 3 kids and a dog and a wife. I don't get a ritual at night. So no, I don't really have a bedtime ritual. It's usually the kids and we all kind of go to bed at generally the same time. So I'm usually hanging out with them, and then I just go to bed. And, no shutdown ritual. Don't need it. I sleep great. I go to bed generally between 10 to 11 o'clock at night. Get up at 5:45. Sometimes I'll sleep in. Sometimes I go to bed at 9:30. I don't have a routine. It's when I feel tired, I go to bed. And I don't have any problem waking up. And I'm asleep within 2 minutes of my head hitting the pillow.
Wow.
So wake up at night. I've always been like that. Very blessed. I know a lot of people can't sleep like that, but it's awesome.
I guess this far in your journey, you've had quite a few twists and turns personally and professionally. And obviously you've taken some pretty big leaps of faith to find yourself in the position that you're in today. How did you align your purpose with your passion?
So I never really knew what my purpose was. I really didn't come to start to understand what that was until I was in my 40s. In fact, most of my life, I was always been very jealous of people that knew what they wanted to do at an early age. Like one of my brothers, he wanted to be a doctor when he was like 10, and he pursued it, and he was number one in his class at Harvard Medical School. And, and I know people like that. They just know and they go. And I was like, I never knew what the hell I wanted to do. And that was always frustrating. I was just like, well, I got to make a living, pick something, right? And then I figured out that if I'm not doing something that is meaningful or having a positive impact, I will not do it. And that's not because necessarily I've got like this high moral standard. If it's not going to shine light in the world, I'm not going to do it. And that's the kind of man I am. I just won't be motivated. I just won't get out of bed in the morning. Like if I thought that I was like running an insurance business, nothing wrong with somebody running an insurance business. If you love it, super cool for you. But if I didn't think that had its place in the world with me, I couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. I'd be depressed. I'd be like, I can't do it. I don't even want to make I'd be happy camping the rest of my life. I don't need a house.
Yeah, right.
I don't care what kind of clothes I have to wear. If I have to go to that job every day, I'll just go fishing for food, right? So for me, it has to have an impact that I align with emotionally. And my purpose and why I am good at what I do is that I can feel what people will take an action on, and I don't want to. And so I like that whole concept. People are going to do the types of fitness that they want to do. The best type of fitness for somebody is the one that they'll do. And so you've got to create and curate an environment that people want. And you can't, it's about them, right? Like fitness is irrelevant. You're relevant until you know that you're not going to do anything. And so when you help people see that light, help people feel part of a community, make it as easy for them as possible. So it's something that they want to do emotionally. And that's just kind of how I try to do everything. I owned that software company, and the way for a long time I ran that company, the reason why I was motivated in doing that was because the software served the fitness industry. And I used to run a bunch of health clubs even before OsteoStrong. And so our clubs were women's fitness centers, but our primary client was deconditioned women. And emotionally, they're very fragile. If by the time somebody comes to try fitness and they're deconditioned, it's the last thing they try. They tried everything else and failed first. Now they've decided to try fitness, and they're not in the best place emotionally. And if your facility is not in the best place and you're not resonating at a high frequency and high energy and happy to see them, that could be that. And then they just quit. And I used to see successful facilities were really high energy, fun places to be. Unsuccessful facilities with the same equipment were low energy places, and people just didn't want to go. Having said that, the way I used to train my tech support staff at my software company is, look, when the phone rings and somebody needs help, they're stressed, right? And you need to let them know that their computer problems are our problems. And I don't give a damn if it's something wrong with if their software, if their Windows has gone corrupt, we have to reinstall it, or it's their printer. We'll solve every freaking problem they have on that computer, because these are the people that serve those people. And if their energy drops as a result of my product or interacting with my company, then we can lead somebody to the grave sooner, because they'll quit. Their members will quit. So the way that I translated what I did in my mind was service to the people that were serving people that needed it. And so we were going to take care of them. And that's how I got out of bed happy every day.
Love it. If you were to give 3 tips for daily purposeful productivity, what would they be? How would you get purposeful productivity in a day? Do you do things like time blocking? What would they be?
I don't do time blocking. So
I ask the easy questions with the hard answers.
So the thing is, it's like I do a lot of things very non-standard, and I have, I try to divide my list up into things I want to do and things I don't want to do. And like, I hate reading contracts and signing contracts. Like, it's just, I'd rather lick paint, right? I like doing things that actually move me, the company or myself, towards a strategic goal that I know is going to have a big impact. So I divide it up in those two lists, and I just go back and forth. I do something I don't want to do. I do something I want to do. So I reward myself with the thing that moves the thing forward. And when I get that done, it's like high five, I'm so happy. And then I go do the thing I don't want to do. But when I get those things off my list, it's like just a little bit of weight comes off my shoulders. So I reward myself with the stuff I want to do. I do. And I just have a list of things I want to get through during the day, good and bad. I say bad. They're not necessarily bad. It's just I don't want to. If I don't want to do it, it is bad, right?
Yeah, I just guess it doesn't align with your highest value.
Yeah,
I
don't do time blocking like that. I'm not as organized. I'm a low C, so the DISC personality set, D, I, S, and C. My D, I, and S are actually almost equal, which is weird. But my C is low, so I don't like dealing with organizational stuff and that kind of thing. And I've got a great personal assistant. I've got a great team, which really enables me to function more and more in the area that I want to be in. So I don't have to be as intentional as I was before. And so I just try to chunk it out. And, we have corporate year-end goals, high level goals for the year. We chunk it out into quarters, and everything within that quarter is always working towards those objectives. And I got stuff I want to do and stuff I don't want to do, and divide them up during the day and divide and conquer.
So delegation.
Delegation is used to be hard for me because but the way that I dealt with that was I became a better communicator in both written and spoken form. The better I communicate and connect with people and let them see their place in the world and give them a vision for where they're going, the more willing they are to do the work the way that I want it done. And when that's happening, then it's really good. I got an unbelievable team of people around me that in all facets of the company. Like I could, if I wanted to, take off a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and everything would have gotten done. I have no doubt.
Right. That's the best position to be in.
I can't remember the last time I took off 2 or 3 weeks. Honestly, I don't even know. But I could. I just like what I do. It's fun.
Yeah.
Elite Supps offers you a wide collection of sports supplements and pre-workout products. More than 50 brands of fat burners, creatine and protein supplements, energy bars and drinks, vegan products, vitamins, sleep formulas, testosterone support, and many more items. Want more? Athleisure clothing, anti-aging products, mood enhancers, product reviews, the list is just endless. Visit elitesups.com.au and use code Lauren, LAUREN 10 to get a 10% discount on your first purchase. I love them.
So if we talk about this next week, what's the one thing that you're going to be focusing on, and how will you put measures in place to give it energy? So the next 7 days.
Work-related, physical-related, family-related.
Whatever is your priority, mate.
As far as like tasks and things like that, we're executing on some really exciting things as a company. We've revamped our entire training program, and there's some cool things that we're doing in that. We've really executed on some majorly cool marketing initiatives that are helping the facilities, and so we've been creating a lot of collateral around that. I love screwing around with marketing and training. Training touches my franchisees who serve people. Marketing touches the members that come to them. And those are my two favorite places of my organization to spend my time. And I'm actually spending time in each of those chunks of the company over the next 7 to 10 days to put the bow on a couple of projects that we've been working on.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So with respect to that, I sort of been doing a little bit of reading, and I've sort of uncovered that it's an aspiration of yours to create a green, off-the-grid communal living neighborhood concept.
Well, I have a lot of big goals on that, and I haven't executed on that one because I don't know how to make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have this. Well, you've read some longevity studies, and like intermittent fasting is really good for longevity. And there's all these things you could do that people live a long time do. But the number one thing that allows people to live really long is living in community, right? Having authentic friendships and spending time with people has a huge impact on longevity.
100%.
Yeah, and so I think that I would like to live that way. I've known people that live together in communities. There are problems with living together in communities, not only emotional problems and relational problems that can come up in them, but people are very transient. And so how do you make a community concept stick as people come and go all the time? I don't know how that actually happens. And I've seen also too, when people, I've known communities here and there, they tend to start getting very, you've heard of an echo chamber, right? It's where your ideas are always echoing back to you, so you're not getting new ideas and growing. So I think there's some potential problems with a living in community. It fascinates me. It's something I would like to experience. I just, in my mind, as I work through my algorithms of challenges and how would you do this and how would you do that, I haven't quite figured out the solution of how to make that actually happen.
When I get the answer, I'll be in contact. When I find somebody. So obviously you're attracted to these types of ideas that help you serve and add immense value to the lives of others. I'd love to know, what's your most ambitious goal for 2020 and how will you make it a reality?
We would like to, so we started OsteoStrong in 2012. We have about 110 locations open and we've launched in like 7 or 8 countries. And we did that in the past couple of years, 18 months, I guess. In the next year, I would like to double our franchise number of open locations and launch in another 8 countries. I'm about to publish a book, and so we'll do a book launch there. And I'm going to write a non-work related book just for the fun of it is my goal to do it next month. I came up with I used to play this game with my kids where I said, just give me any sentence and I'll turn it into a story. And so I'm a great storyteller. And so the kids really liked them. So they would, write that one down, Dad. And then they'd make me read the story that I told them. And there was one that they liked so much. They was like, Dad, that could be a book, that could be a movie, whatever. And so they always bugged me about it, or about every 6 months. When are you going to write that book? When are you going to write the book? And so I think I'm going to write that book over the Christmas holidays. Just for them.
Oh, that's amazing.
I have no aspirations to be successful, awesome book. I don't know. I just write it. I think it'd be fun to do. It'd be a non-work related thing to do and just something I can do for them.
So tell me more about this other book that you're going to be releasing.
It's a biohack book, and it's really divided into 3 areas: musculoskeletal health, nutrition, and energy. And then there's a lot of sections within each one of those chunks of books. And I'm writing it in sort of the spirit of the way that I wrote it in the spirit of the way that Tim Ferriss wrote his book, where you can open up to any chapter and read it. You don't have to go cover to cover and read it if you want to, because that's not how most people read books these days. So I want it to be something that could appeal to people. And biohacking in itself is a really big deal for the kind of under 35 or under 40 group, but mainly, kind of your millennials and that under 30 are really into biohacking. But then you've got a lot of people over 50 that aren't, they're still confused by the term, that kind of thing. And so the book is actually really interesting for anybody. Like my kids will read a chapter and go, wow, that was really cool. But we have a lot of people over 50 that go to OsteoStrong because they're compelled by osteoporosis or fear of falling and that kind of thing. And so the book is also written to introduce these people to health concepts they may not have considered.
That's fantastic. What's the title?
I'm not going to say that yet, only because I haven't copyrighted it. So, but I will say this: the first title I came up with, I loved it, and then Dave Asprey just published a book like 4 weeks ago with the title. That was like the title I chose, Superhuman.
I literally just got that yesterday.
Yeah. So somebody was like, Dave Asprey. I'm like, I'm not mad at Dave Asprey. He didn't know I was writing a book, and it's coming up with a title is, go have a glass of wine and think about it to come with a title.
Yeah.
The title.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. as somebody that's obviously got a lot of stuff going on, you're very passionate and very purposeful in what it is that you do. I think that, it's going to be such an amazing resource for you to be able to help spread your message to the world and add value to people for years and years to come, obviously. So finally, like, the OsteoStrong website is a really great resource, as will be your upcoming book with an unknown title. And it will be, both of them synergistically will work together to help people learn more about biohacking and OsteoStrong being touted as like the ultimate biohack. For anybody in our audience who's interested in learning more about how they can improve their skeletal strength, their range of motion, agility, and energy, where can you suggest that they start?
Well, certainly our website. It's really not about, OsteoStrong really isn't about skeletal strength conditioning, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. What our company does is we exist to maximize human physical freedom and physical performance at whatever level people are at. So some people are attracted to OsteoStrong because they just want more strength. Other people, joint and back pain. Some people scale more, stronger bones. They're afraid of fracture, whether they be an athlete or otherwise. At the core of any one of those things, our member is the hero of their own story, and it's really about providing the easiest possible way to achieve the most maximum physical freedom. And so, if somebody's interested in freedom, either because they're being inhibited by pain or by fear of falling, or they just want to be able to punch through walls, whatever, right? OsteoStrong, I believe, is the ultimate biohack because it does all those things in a more profound and fast way than anything I've ever seen in my life. So Excellent. This website would be the place to go.
So the website is osteostrong.me.
Yeah, and we got locations in Australia. Whoop, whoop.
You sure do. And I'll be making sure that there's some more locations opening in Queensland, in sunny Queensland. So I'm really excited to be, helping with that project as well on a personal level. Kyle, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you today. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. Obviously, you're a guy with a massive mission, and I love it. And I'm so energized by your passion to inspire and, serve humanity in such a deep and meaningful way.
Back at you. You're the one doing the podcast and all this stuff. So that's really important that what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
I honor you as in the same way. Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it, mate. Just want to thank you so much for being on the Healthy Habit Hot Seat. And I can't wait to chat to you a little bit more in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on the Healthy Habit Hot Seat. Make sure to visit lozlife.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, I'd be stoked with a 5-star rating on iTunes. Better still, tell a friend and share the love. If you loved this episode, you might want to check out my book, The Healthy Habit Handbook, available in softcover, ebook, and audio form on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, and all good bookstores. Be sure to tune in for our next episode for your fortnightly dose of inspiration from some of the world's most successful and healthy lifestyle masters. Remember, stay inspired. I'm Loz Antonenko, and ciao for now.